Hello! Welcome to another Corax&Coffee unboxing video. I'm Pete Steele, and today we're going to take a look at Ankh, Gods of Egypt, published by Simon Games, or Come On Games, and developed by Eric Lang, famous developer. And you know what? I'm actually going to take these off because I realize you can probably just see a reflection of my ring light, and that's probably just as distracting gets. So, if you remember the 1994 movie Stargate with Kurt Russell and James Spader and a bunch of other people, you remember that they were alien gods or god aliens or gods that wanted to be aliens or aliens that were trying to be gods, something like that. It doesn't matter. People in a high power position imposing their will on human beings, aka enslaving human beings. So apparently we're not the only ones in that universe who are bad. But imagine that movie without the people. It's just gods fighting gods, essentially, for power and control. Maybe that's better? Pick on somebody your own size? Anyway, that is kind of the theme of Ankh, Gods of Egypt, so let's take it to the table and see what's in the box.
All right, here is the Ankh, Gods of Egypt base game. I've got a whole bunch of nice illustration here on the back, as well as box contents. Let's open this up. And let's just see here. Nothing inside that box lid here. We have free Come On content there. And we have a hit with a rule book right away. So, table of contents, introduction to the game. We do have a illustrated itemized components list here. Continues on the next page, very nice. Basic concepts, adjacency, figures, lots of nice illustrations of the components here. Setup, actions, examples with map drawings, unlock Ankh power, events, control monument, conflict, bunch of stuff here. So lots and lots of illustrations, cards and powers here, but also a lot of text. So yeah, it's like 31 pages, 32 with a rule summary here. So it's not as daunting as it seems because there's so many illustrations, but this is going to take a while to get through and to know how to do everything. And then we also are hit with a scenario book. Here, using scenarios, more scenarios, more scenarios, more and more scenarios. So for different player counts, these are 3 to 5, 4 player, 5 player, and a rule summary on the back of that as well. Next, we are hit with a whole bunch of cardboard in shrink here. So let's take this off. And some of this should look familiar because I think these components were illustrated in the rulebook that we just closed. But it looks like we have a, it's printed on both sides, but this is just decorative. So we have this devotion track, which does something. I mean, it's, you know, it's like poster board flimsy. It's not thicker cardboard, but it should do. And then we have this, again, on poster board, we have this kind of actions, move figures, summon figure, gain followers, unlock Ankh power, and then we have this snaking track here. And again, on the back it's printed rather than just being blank, but it's just illustration for theme and immersion. And then it looks like, okay, so we have 2 punch boards here. and it is punched out, it is printed on both sides, but it looks like it's just exact same information. And these punch out easily enough. There's really no need to clean them up with a knife. And these are perfectly usable, fine, playable cardboard components. Really no complaints there. And then we have a second punch board with a lot, many more tokens. Oh, there's one just came out just fine. Oh, don't want to lose it. And then we have some hexes in this punch board as well, which I assume do something having to do with the game board. I'm gonna move this to the side for a second so that we can unfold this game board, 4-section game board, and you can see there it is printed on one side. And I'm gonna move this coffee out of the way here. Ooh, we're just moving everything now. All right. So you can basically see the whole thing here, or very close to it. Not a lot of words or other printing, but you do have this nice hex grid. You can see the hexes are divided up into spaces that are fairly easy to tell apart. Could be easier. Same with the water hexes. No complaints about this game board. I didn't realize how, I don't want to say plain, but unmarked with, how unmarked with iconography and words it is. I'm kind of used to that in Modern War games, seeing tons of iconography over a board, and this one really doesn't have that. We did see a lot of tokens in the punch board, so maybe they're used here in some way, or not. But this is really nice. It's kind of like this natural landscape. Just a thought. Now we go back to the box with all of these. We're going to see a lot of minis in here volumetrically. We're only like a fifth of the way into the depth of this box, which is common for Come On games. So yes, you can see here on the back, illustrate what's inside. This is a common thing seen in Come On games with this box inside the box full of trays of minis. So that's everything that's in there. And we have 2 levels of minis, so we'll set this larger one outside here. Okay, so I'm actually going to hold this tray up because it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 5. We have kind of the regular soldiers. I'll hold each one up individually, but we have 6 of each of the 5 different types of mini there. And then here we have mini bases that get popped onto minis of different colors. Some of them are quite large. I'll get back to these minis in a second. In this bag, we have a whole bunch of camel tokens. I'll hold one up individually in a second, but these are all little camels. It's a whole bag full of them. Here is one. Let's see if we can get it in focus there. Maybe? You can get a whole bag of those. Stick it up. Oh, it's gonna sit upright in my hand. There you go. Okay, and then here we have, just in this bag, we have 1 glass bead and then 4 plastic standees. And then in this little bag, we have plastic Ankh tokens, 1 in each player color. These are plastic, and this is the opposite side. So those are kind of cool. It's nice that they did those kind of player tracker, I assume, tokens in plastic. Nice little plastic clinky sound rather than cardboard. Interesting choice. Okay, now I'm going to hold up one of each of these again because There are 6 that are the same. Oh, there we go. It's got this nice spear here. It's got dreadlocks or something like that there. And all right. So we have this second tray of minis, which are much larger, that are going to use a lot of these larger miniature bases. Wow. Okay. So we have some repeats here and some not. So you can see 3, 3, and 3, and then 2, and 2, and 2, and then individuals. So let's start with these smaller ones, which is like a bunch of skeleton cats kind of on top of each other. That's kind of what it looks like. And looks like a zombie skeleton, or not zombie, mummy, right? You've seen that episode of The Big Bang Theory where Raj and Leonard are debating if there's a difference between mummies and zombies, and Sheldon gets in. If you're a Big Bang Theory, yeah, it's one of the episodes. All right. So then we have this interpretation of a sphinx. Looks like with 2 king cobras coming out of its mouth. It's got cobras on its wings as well. Nice. We get 2 of those. 2 of these crocodile type guys. And I'm sure many of these are, come from different types of Egyptian mythology. I used to be much more familiar with that. I took a course in Egyptology years ago, but it's been a while. Oh, you can actually see a guy in the back of this scorpion here. You can see these bases pop onto these models here. No problem. Large, gorgeous, perhaps overproduced minis, but that's what CMON does. That's their thing. And these larger colored models that I'm holding up right now are lighter than I thought they would be, which is fine. They're sturdy enough, but they definitely are. They're lighter, which is than I expected before picking them up. So yeah, these are really, really nice. Beautiful. You could absolutely paint these. Oh, and this one has a bunch of followers down here praying at his feet. You could paint these, you could wash these, tattered robe here, but they're also gorgeous on their own. I'm not an amazing painter. I probably will at some point wash some of these models just to bring out some detail.
So I haven't played this game yet, but I am excited to try because I have played a lot of Kemet. A lot of Kemet expansions, editions of Kemet, and that definitely is Stargate, the movie, the board game. And so I'm interested to see how this compares. I'm also interested to see how it compares to relating it to Stargate SG-1 or Stargate Atlantis or Stargate Starship, or all of those other things, which I don't think are with Kurt Russell but are with a bunch of other people. My brother has gotten really into all those other Stargate things and he thinks they're great. I've watched the first season and think they kind of take themselves too seriously. That was what was great about Stargate the movie, the 94 movie, is that it was perfect camp, along the lines of 1960s Adam West Batman or the Raul Julia Street Fighter movie. We actually did a unboxing of the Street Fighter miniatures game, and I will put a link for that in the description of this video as well. So yeah, let's get back to unboxing this and see what else we see.
Now we go back to this box. Oh, mini down. And we have more stuff in shrink. So they just shrink wrapped pretty much everything. Let's see. Can I pull this off without ruining everything? I think I did it. Okay, so we have player boards here. There are 5 of them. And they are, again, that kind of cardstock, poster board type material rather than being thicker cardboard player boards or double-layered player boards. They're not that at all. They're this poster board, and then this is clearly the cost-cutting measure. All of the money went into the minis rather than the player boards, which is fine, I suppose. I really like cardboard double-layered player boards, as do we all. But whatever. Okay, so on the back here, you have Amun hidden, and then you've got some flavor text here, and maybe a little historical text. Anubis, the embalmer, and you've got some nice artwork back there. You've got Ra, the sun and the light. And Osiris, god of the dead. And finally Isis, or Isis, queen of the throne. Yeah, Isis and Isol, that's a whole different thing. And I assume we have variable player powers on these boards. Let's just check that out. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe these are all actually the same. It looks to me, just on quick inspection, that all of this is the same, and the variation comes in maybe depending on how players decide to get different powers, I'm kind of assuming. But it looks like there is variability in player powers in these abilities here. Yeah, down in the lower left-hand corner. So there you go. And then here, let's see, might not. There we go. Yeah, don't want the knife for that, actually. If I didn't know any better, I'd say these are bookmarks. Not actually. But it looks like these are maybe additions to a player board here. Perhaps. Yeah, and then you have when two gods merge. But yeah, these go together. Here. So I'll just do each one of these. Here's Isis. Amun. And maybe these are really just player aids, actually, because it looks like I don't know. We'll see when we play. So there you go. Those bookmark player aids. Now we have these two other decks of cards, and I assume there's nothing under here. There is not, so let's just open these up real quick. I don't want to bend these cards, but there we go. Alright, so here we have... okay, yeah, so here it looks like we have... these are 5 player aid cards, it looks like. Double-sided, so I'll just show you both sides of the player aid cards at the same time. And then it looks like we have some cards for some of the minis. We saw that cat mummy. Yeah, these correspond to these larger gray minis here. Sphinx. All right. Back to cat mummy. And then finally, we have this deck of cards, which clearly is going to be 5 smaller decks of cards having to do with each of the larger god miniatures in the game. So, here are Isis's cards. You can pause the video if you want to see more. Am I back to the beginning? I think so. I should have flipped one of the cards. It looks like everyone gets 7, potentially. These are Osiris's cards. And maybe these are all the same. I'm seeing some repetition here. Check that out in a second. Yeah. Let's just see here. Yeah, these are all the same. Miracle. Yep, 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 yep. So everyone gets the same 7 cards, but they get their own. So there you go. Yeah. So everyone gets, each player has their own 7 cards to action cards of some type. And that is everything that comes in the base game of Ankh, Gods of Egypt. There are many expansions to this game, if you want to check those out as well. But that's what we have for you today.
Not exactly what else to say about this game for right now. The minis are gorgeous, clearly overproduced, but CMON is known for doing that, and I really can't complain because there are many other board games that are wildly overproduced that I really do enjoy. So, I guess I'll just have to play it a whole bunch and then maybe review it and let you know more of my thoughts at that point. For now, thank you so much for watching. Please do check out our other content on our website at corax&coffee.com, on YouTube. Check out our podcast, which is on most podcast streaming services. And consider checking out our merch store, becoming a Patreon member if you like what you see here. Until next time, take care all.